Nobody. In this video, we're gonna do a reaction to Forever Ago, another trailer and development announcement by Annapurna Interactive, the dev that I mentioned in the last two videos that just had a showcase where they did like 6 games or something like that. They're an indie dev. They made Stray. It's like the first big game they have. I think they maybe have like one other, Outer Wild or something. I think is another game I've seen before, but isn't that known, I don't think. But yeah, they dropped another trailer. Last two games, vastly different from what Stray is, and vastly different from each other. So this could be like yet another whole different type of game, which shows really promising results from this dev, in my opinion. Like they have a lot of like stuff in their bag. They can pull out a lot of things that can make them very successful in the future and have huge potential. I just hope they are not taking on too much with all these different games, and that they can focus on delivering the results they promise instead of all like 6 half-assed games when you could have 3 really good ones, you know. But hey, I'm not gonna judge. We don't know the result yet, so we can't say. Who knows, they might have like a big following, or like all their games are made by one person that's really dedicated. There's plenty games that are made by little groups and are really good. They just often take longer to develop, which is fine. If you're alone or like a group of 3 people, it's obviously gonna take longer than 30-40 people that AAA studios do. And often these indie games make better games, so I'm definitely looking forward to see what it's gonna be. Once more, I have no idea what this game is gonna be, so I'm looking forward to it. Definitely from what I've seen from the previous ones. Okay. Some real life footage, I think from Denmark.
I didn't know that I wanted to make games, and I always loved writing stories in school.
This is probably the development part they are teasing.
At some point I just thought, okay, maybe I can combine those two things.
I'm a computer kid. I liked working in these creative programs, and those were the first steps of kind of like expressing myself.
Okay, sounds like a very passionate man.
I'm a writer and one of the co-founders of Third Shift.
I'm Fabian. I'm the artist and one of the co-founders of Third Shift.
Okay. Sound like two passionate
men.
Right
now we are in the west of Germany, in my apartment, which is at the same time the headquarters of our little company.
Okay, very indie, if it's just from his house.
Thinking about our project, did a lot of brainstorming actually on this balcony here, and this was when the idea was born.
Forever Ago is a story-driven road trip adventure game where you play as Alfred, an elderly man who embarks on a journey in his trusty van. The story is inspired by a trip.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause it real quick. It sounds like a stereotypical indie game, you know, like the polygon art, where you're just a simple, laid-back, chillax story. This man exploring, you know, where you come home from work, from school, from a busy day, and you can just turn this on and be very at ease, just calmly exploring the story, the world this game has to offer. Which you often see with indie games. They are often a bit shorter, but they give a wholesome experience, or a very chillax experience that makes you calm and just enjoy yourself for the next 2 to 3 hours. And this looks like one of those games. Of course, it's made by 2 people, very indie, which is, I mean, in my opinion, a good thing, because you know those people really are interested in their own project. They're not just working for a corporate. But yeah, let's continue and see what they tell more about the story.
The story is inspired by a trip I took down the Pacific coast. Fabian and I were always
inspired by his own experience. Great.
Diverse landscapes in North America, and that's where a lot of the inspiration came from.
When Kai was about to go on this road trip, he asked me to lend him my camera. After he came back, he shared that book with me, like as a thank you.
This was actually taken in the middle of nowhere.
Very wholesome, their story, to be honest.
Drive for hours on end, and there's just no one. And this was just crazy to see.
Yeah, we have a scene just like this in the game.
Alfred was the first thing we had.
Character model of Alfred.
Very much like this concept of it being based on his experience.
To look like. We started redesigning Alfred and making a little bit more lifelike.
Alfred's main purpose is to document this trip. Usually the games that stuck most with us are story-driven games.
I'm just excited to see when people actually play this thing in the future. and I hope this will be very soon.
Very little teases toward the game, but they give their vision behind it and their idea and where their inspiration come from, which I honestly really enjoy. I think this is a much better reveal trailer than many movies, shows, or games do. Like I said, I really like the idea behind it. But I have to say, of course, this type of game can be very boring to some people. It's definitely not going to be for everybody. It's more of a smaller audience. But this could be a really great gateway for them to make more story games. Maybe one with more action or more involvement to it. But this one sounds like very wholesome. You just walk around on your road trip, drive around, take pictures, and just enjoy the scenery, enjoy the little hints of the co-founder's experience on his trip. I think this is a really interesting game. I definitely think, depending on how much it costs, most people should give it a chance. So far, of course, it's still an early reveal trailer. It's most likely not coming out for like another year and a half, 2 years. They didn't give an announcement date either, so this could be a ways away, especially when it's made by 2 people. I don't think this is going to be a long game, so who knows, could be faster than we expect. But as I said, I think this is going to be a very calm, relaxed game where you just can enjoy throughout without having to worry about skill or it just being too active, where you can play it whenever you want, actually. Like, as I said, when you had a busy day from work, from school, just or with life, you can just chillax, lean back in your chair, play it on your bed on the laptop maybe. And this looks like a game that's just that. And I think for those people that need that, or that are just looking for calm games and are not into shooters or these adventure games, this is going to be a great game for them. At least that's how it looks in my eyes. Because I really like the idea behind it, as I said earlier. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Feel free to drop a like, comment with a suggestion what you want me to react to next. I've said it before, it can be songs, it can be videos, it can be clips, trailers, it can be everything. Just make sure it's safe for work so I can put it on YouTube. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.